What if I told you that you don't want to be tall? And I know right now you're gonna be like, this guy is just coping. And so you wanna close the video. But follow me for a second because this is true. What I mean is, you don't want height directly. Height is not your real desire. Height is just the thing that you think you need to achieve the underneath goals, which are power, desirability, and respect. Power meaning feeling like you can control your life outcomes. Desirability meaning feeling wanted romantically and socially. And respect meaning when you enter a room, you want people to respect you. So height is just the thing that you think you need in order for you to have all of these. In other words, if you had all the power, respect, and desirability you could achieve, you wouldn't care about being tall. Why do I know that? Because it's literally what happened to me. Like, as soon as I started taking into account all of these three aspects separately from height, I stopped feeling insecure about my height. I am 5'9", so I'm not the tallest guy and I'm not the shortest guy, but I can relate to most guys who say they feel height insecurity, meaning like they feel their height is limiting their outcomes, their results. And I can tell you, as soon as you start working on power, desirability, and respect on their own, ignoring height, you will stop feeling height insecurity because you realize that people want to be tall not just for the height itself. They want to be tall because height can give you these three real goals more easily. So just keep this in mind. Although height will help you to achieve power, desirability, and respect, it's not necessary. It makes it easier, but it's not necessary. As Jung famously said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And why do I say so? Because you have this unconscious belief looping in your mind that says tall means worthy and short means not worthy. But it's just an unconscious belief that you can correct right now. And the way in which you correct it is by becoming aware of it, and second, by intervening on what you actually want. So let's see the first one, power. Power can go from stuff like feeling like you can control your routine, from having real power, like real control on people. But I'm not talking about politic power or stuff like that. I'm just talking feeling like you in your life have power to change things around you. And I don't mean in the world, I mean in your life. And the way in which you achieve power, though height might help you to achieve power, is having internal evidence. When you've built something, survived something, created something bigger than yourself, you have internal evidence. And this makes you feel powerful. This gives you the evidence that you need to believe in yourself, to believe in your abilities to change stuff around you. So if you feel like you don't have power in your life, don't complain about your height. Because the thing you're actually looking for is internal evidence of your power. And the way in which you build internal evidence is through external actions. Go do something in the world that makes your confidence increase. Your confidence won't increase if you don't put something of yourself out in the world and test it. The second secret desire you have is desirability. And this can be social and romantic. So I don't want to say that height does not matter, because it matters a lot. And you see this all the time. The tallest guy have it easier with girls or in social scenarios, because like people judge people based on height as well. But if you ask girls, if you actually go deeper into that, relationships start and end not because of height, but because of behaviors. Because people think that height is just like some magic trick that will make you feel confident around girls. But it doesn't work like that. And I can tell you that I know guys who are 6'1", 6'2", and they are still horrible with girls. They can't go up and talk to a girl. They can't even sustain a conversation with a friend, with their girlfriends. Like, this is insane. So this means that height is not the secret ingredient for confidence. So how do you develop desirability without thinking about your height? First of all, you need a clear direction. If you have direction, people around you notice it. You don't even need to talk about what you're doing. People just notice that you have certainty, that you know where you're going. And this screams confidence. Even more than being tall. Like if you're tall, that's great because it will help you being more confident. But if you aren't, it's not necessary. What's necessary is having a direction, having something you care about, having purpose. So just ask yourself this. When you're interacting with a girl, do you use her, the interactions you have with her, to validate you, to feel better about yourself? Or do you just enjoy the interaction? Because the guy who is already confident is not interacting with a girl to feel better about himself, to get compliments, or to feel like he's the man. Because he was the man before entering the interaction. And this is something that sounds abstract. But once you start living this in your life, you understand the point. Like, you start living not just romantical interactions, but like interactions with human beings in a much more natural way, because you're not waiting for validation from the environment around you. You're just living the interaction as it is. And paradoxically, this gives you even more results, social and romantical results. And the third one is going to be respect. And respect simply means like when you enter a social interaction or in a work setup, do people take you seriously? Do people respect you? And the formula for respect is very easy. People respect only people who respect themselves first. So what this means is, if you don't have clear limits, clear boundaries, people can't respect you. Because people can't respect boundaries if they don't know they exist in the first place. So people will respect you as soon as you start respecting yourself. Respecting yourself means having boundaries. Because when you have clear boundaries, people know the line that they don't have to cross. And being tall will help you with that. Because the tallest guy is usually perceived as a guy that you should respect. But let me tell you, I know guys who are very tall, way taller than me, and are way less respected than me. Why? Because I have clear priorities. I have clear boundaries. I make them clear. I don't even to talk them loud sometimes. Just my presence states the boundaries I have. Excellence commands boundaries. And this is what you should be optimizing for. Respect is just the byproduct of being purposeful and clear about your boundaries. So let's sum this up. You don't want to be told directly, you just want height because it will help you to achieve power, desirability, and respect. So the real practice you should integrate in your life if you feel height insecurity is just this. Every time you feel like the insecurity is rising in you, meaning you feel like, oh, I'm short, so I want to be able to achieve these, just be clear with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Really think about what you actually want. Do you want the height or do you want the power, the desirability, and the respect? And so every time the insecurity rises, just do something, do an action that will increase one of these three aspects. Because trust me, this was the only way in which I was able to kill this height insecurity forever. Because I realized height is just the shortcut that people are looking for. Or in other words, you can see height as a tax you have to pay. But paying taxes doesn't mean you can't make money. You can still pay taxes and make a ton of money. This is the point, right? If you're tall, well, it's easier. It's like you're not paying taxes. It's like you are in Dubai. So it's easier to make money for you. But there are guys in the West who pay a lot more taxes and are still richer than some guys in Dubai. You get the point, right? You're just paying a tax. If you are short or if you're not very tall, like you can define height however you are, but like it's like you're paying a small tax or a big tax, whether you are short or very short. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't make it impossible for you to get rich. It doesn't make it impossible for you to achieve what you want to achieve. So 3 easy actions you can do every time you feel the insecurity rising are: for power, when you feel like you are actually missing power, go do something hard. Build something bigger than yourself. Work on your vision. For desirability, go talk to someone, but not in a way where you need their validation. In a way where you're just present and you want to connect with them. And if it's respect, just set clear limits on something you weren't clear about up until now. And guys, I really hope that this was useful to you. And in case you want more from me, I have created a complete productivity system that you can access with the first link down below. You just need to type your email in and you'll have access to a full website page full of tips to organize your life around your passions and the stuff that actually brings you farther in life, that brings you nearer to your goals. Because in this channel, what we usually talk about is psychology and flow state. But since I had already made a video on height insecurity in the past and it performed pretty good, I decided to do a second version of that video because many people just commented that they found a lot of value in the video, and this is the only reason in the end why I record these videos, just to help people with stuff that I have solved in my own life. And so guys, if this helped you in any way, I'm so grateful. And if you want to help me as well, just subscribe to the channel and I'll see you